What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. If you're new here, I'll introduce myself very briefly. My name is Simon Hill. I'm a Black American from Louisiana. I'm a Muslim. I'm a husband to a beautiful, intelligent, sexy Turkish woman. I'm a English teacher and a world traveler and a nascent beginning YouTuber. As you see here, my statistics are up on the screen. My subscribers are going up. My views are going up. The money is going up. Everything is on the up right now. And I'm working hard every single day to try to bring you new content, interesting content, growing my channel, and being true to myself and my audience. I always keep it real. I always keep it black. And I will always keep it raw on this channel. So if you like what I have to say, rock with me. If you don't like what I have to say, get rocked and get blocked. So let's keep it real. I want to shout out all the commenters who show me love consistently. Craig Mack, Lay Berry, Hebrew Hayashimi, Matthew Nelson, so many people that leave good, interesting, funny comments. I really love you guys. Continue supporting your boy. And also new people, I forgot your names too. I also want to talk about the other comments that I get on my channel. They are often from trolls, white supremacists, white people who make apologetics for white supremacy and anti-black racism that I've spoken about on my channel. Black people who make apologetics, supposedly black people, because unfortunately, if you spend enough time on the internet, you'll know that the white supremacists and racists have many tricks. Often it's blackfishing. On the internet, most people are able to be anonymous. You can put up any sort of picture you want on your profiles. There's no verification for that. So a lot of times there are people trolling on all different social media platforms, pretending to be a different person than they are, or pretending to be a different race than they are. So I want to say, presumably there are also black people, though, who apologize for white supremacy. And these people are not welcome on my channel. I don't give a fuck about your white lily tears or your caping for white supremacy. You can go somewhere else with that. There are hundreds of other black YouTubers who all they do is make content that is friendly for the general masses. My content is not for the general masses. My content is for black travelers, and it's also for black people with consciousness and awareness and some political leanings to the left, and also black people who are very sincere about having information that is honest and true to the black experience, which is what I will always provide, no matter what. I started my channel 6 years ago talking about my experiences in a North African country called Tunisia, and have continued ever since, grinding day in, day out. So that's me. Now, today, unfortunately, this might be what some people call a Mandingo fight. This is an idea that was in the movie Django, which has now proliferated and permeated now the conversation, similar to how the sunken place came into our lexicon after Get Out came out. But what is a Mandingo fight for the stupid white people or unacquainted black people who are watching this video still? A Mandingo fight is when two black people fight for the enjoyment of white spectators. I do not hope to make that this video, because my goal is never to attack any other black YouTuber, black content creator, anything like that. But I will defend myself. I will defend my words and my actions and my message. Every word I say out of my mouth, I am willing to fight and die over. And if anybody comes for me, I will always stand up for myself. I don't go back and forth with y'all in the comments. I use this thing and I show my face because I'm not a coward. I keep it real. Whether this is a Mandingo fight or not, I will speak about this. Now, like I said, the comments are from white supremacists and racists, and these people get blocked. Y'all aren't welcome here. Don't come around here. If you come here, you're a cuck. The black commenters, though, especially if I can verify they are black by how they write to me, or by looking on their channels and seeing that they are also content creators, displaying their face and showing what they're doing, I listen sincerely to what they have to say, because that is who my target audience is. So if a black content creator leaves a comment on my channel, especially if it's coming from an honest and genuine place, Whether it's a place I agree with or disagree with, I think about it deeply. I mull over it when I'm going for a walk or when I'm going for my run or when I'm just doing my day. I think sincerely about what I say and how it affects people. And especially if there's a black person responding to what I have to say, I'm going to listen 1000%, right? So let's do this. Even though I listen to what my black commentators say, I will never, ever, ever have any love in my heart at all for black people who apologize for white supremacy or anti-black racism. You guys are coons. You guys are Uncle Toms. You guys are the worst of the worst. You guys are worse than the white supremacists, in my opinion. I said this about my trip to Tanzania. I know how to deal with the white people because I know the white people are going to white people. I don't know how to deal with the coon because I'll never know what a coon will do. A coon helped the white people stop Nat Turner from killing Massa. The coons helped Martin Luther King get shot on that balcony in Memphis. The coons literally killed Malcolm X. The coons infiltrated the Black Panther Party. You niggas are my enemy number one. I don't spend a lot of energy on you because the white supremacists are enough. But you niggas make me sick. So let's talk about something else very briefly, and I promise I'm going to tie this all together. I'm going to tell a story real quick. If you're black watching this, especially if you're black from the US or black from the diaspora, you've probably heard about the dichotomy of the house niggas and the field niggas. The story goes something like this. Long time ago, actually not that long ago, actually about 3 generations ago, we were held in bondage throughout the Western Hemisphere. The longest in Brazil, actually, though for a pretty long time in the U.S. We were kidnapped from Africa, taken to the U.S., and worked to death. But there were 2 types of niggas, the name given to us by our captors. There were house niggas, the ones who cleaned master's kitchen, cooked master's food, made master's bed. If you were a woman, your breasts were literally used to provide milk to white children who were born. You had a closer proximity to whiteness and power and wealth. Therefore, house niggas had a, let's say, more favorable view of our enslavement. Oh, massa be treating me nice. Massa be letting me eat the big chicken sometime. Massa be letting me get drunk on Sunday. Shit, last thing I would want to do is be free. These were house niggas. The other half, the other side of the coin, were field niggas. These niggas were worked to death outside under the hot, scorching sun, barefoot, sometimes naked, underfed, kept in minimal housing where mosquitoes and rats and roaches would eat their skin off of their bodies, whipped by poor, ignorant white people on horseback for not picking enough cotton, their fingers literally bleeding from sifting through so many pounds of cotton. And if you've ever seen cotton, it has thorns on the side. So when you pick it, a lot of it, you're most likely going to get cuts and calluses on your hands. Field niggas had a, mildly saying this, less favorable view of our enslavement. And these niggas were the ones who definitely wanted to burn Master's house down, kill him, and fuck his wife before eventually killing her too, and the children. I would argue that missing in all of this, there was a third option or a third group of black people in this whole situation, and these were the runaways. The runaways were people that we mostly assumed to be field niggas because the people who had the most antagonism to our enslavement were the ones who probably wanted to leave it the most. But I would argue that house niggas wanted to run away too, even if they had favorable views of massa. I don't remember the exact name of the person who escaped in this story, but this is a true story and you can look it up, but I'm going to give you a general detail. Once upon a time, or in fact, not once upon a time, there was, a long time ago, a woman who was half black and half white because her mother, of course, was raped by massa, and she wanted to escape. She married a dark-skinned field nigga who wanted to escape as well. So they devised a plan. The half black woman decided to dress up like an old man, an old white man who was handicapped and needed to go up north for surgery. She had her hat down low, her arm in a sling, and the black man who was her husband was going to pretend to be her slave, driving their carriage up north. And they almost got caught, but then they were eventually able to escape to a state in the north where they were free. That's an example of a house nigga and a field nigga collaborating together to get their freedom, right? I would argue, though, that even if the house niggas did like the field niggas did and followed that North Star all the way to Canada, or sometimes took boats or ran away south to Mexico, which banned slavery way before the United States, that these house niggas sometimes still kept some affinity for white supremacy and masses kindness. You niggas are the worst. You niggas are the worst. Even though you are free, y'all will never be like me. So let's look at this comment that I got from a house nigga that ran away. This is from a man named Where's Kevon. He left a very long comment. He is a black YouTuber who is making content himself. And let's go over who he is. His name is Kevon Hudson. He's a 29-year-old black man from New York who lived in Albania for about 6 years. He is also an amateur dancer and musician. He is a polyglot who speaks Albanian, Dutch, Italian, and American Sign Language. He is also an ex-Jehovah's Witness. He's also somebody who is capable of identifying anti-blackness when it appears in an institution, because this video actually that you're seeing on the screen is actually very interesting. I watched it in its entirety and it's very informative. I am not surprised that there's anti-blackness in a American Christian denomination that is almost a century old, if not more. But it is still very informative. Kevon seems like a very intelligent young man. He seems like a young man who is very gifted in his ability to learn languages and adapt to different cultures. I did not listen to any of his music because I'm not particularly interested in that. I'm interested in hearing from black content creators who travel about their honest experiences as black people abroad. He's also, as I said, a gay man. He made a documentary about the Pride Parade in Tirana. He has been open about searching for Albanian men who are on the down low and giving advice to other people on YouTube on how to find people who are on the down low. As a gay person, I do not, I'm not a gay person, but what I'm saying is, as a gay person, I salute him for his bravery on going to a place that is known for its homophobia as well. But I do not approve at all of this comment that he left for me, and also how he has framed talking about his experiences as a black person in Albania. I believe that Kevon has been willfully omitting information in regards to his time in Albania as a black person. After watching this video, my experience living in Albania, not traveling in its entirety, I also believe that he is willfully caping for white supremacy and anti-blackness in this video that he made a few months ago. I didn't leave Albania for almost 4 years. Here's how it shaped me. And you'll understand why I came to these conclusions after we read through this comment. This comment is for one of my latest videos, the latest video in my Black Sit series, but a video I released a few days ago titled, Albania is the most racist country I've ever been to. It goes like this. Kevon says, I'm a black American who has been living here for like 6 years. I think this video is missing a lot of information. Sorry for your experiences here, but I think the conversation is one-sided, not to justify their actions, because there are racist people here. But you need to go into the type of racism that exists here and the type that exists in the US and compare them and how that affects black people living here. Let's start with the very first, actually the second sentence. I think this video is missing a lot of information. No, it is not. I actually gave all the information that I needed to give because I was talking about my experience as a black person there. Saying that I am missing information is denying my experience. This is no different than if I was a black person in the US talking about racism in the US, and then a white person comments, or a black apologist for white supremacy says, well, you know what you're missing? X event in American history. Therefore, you're missing some information. This conversation is one-sided. I guess it is, because I am the only black YouTuber so far talking about anti-black racism in Albania. I'm not surprised, because many black people like yourself, Kevon, seek white validation more than actually validating your own experience and providing information for other black travelers. But that's what I'm here to do. As I've said before, constantly in my videos, my channel is about informing black travelers about anti-black racism abroad. Sorry for your experiences here, I guess, but it's not for you to tell me sorry. It's for the Albanian people to acknowledge that it is wrong to call black people racial slurs. And as you'll see, people, if you're watching this, and Kevon, you did not once say that it was okay for black people not to be called racial slurs by Albanians. You said not to justify their actions because there are racist people here, but then you continue to provide excuses and whataboutisms. I need to go into the type of racism that exists here, meaning Albania. I did. I literally said that in the video. And this is why I'm somewhat confused and perplexed, because I feel like reading your comment, Kevon, you did not give me the dignity that I gave you of watching multiple videos and in their entirety before leaving a comment like this. I literally said in the video, there are levels to this racism thing. There's the uncomfortable looks and uncomfortable feelings you get being a black person there. Then there's calling black people slurs in the streets. Of course, there are levels to racism beyond that. Did I mention lynchings? Did I mention hangings? Did I mention castration? Did I mention violent mob attacks? Did I mention rape? No, I didn't mention all that, because of course that didn't happen to me, duh. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And talking about the US in this context is stupid as fuck. I'm going ahead of myself here, but I mentioned the US in the video towards the very end. I literally said in the US, we need to get out of the belly of the beast because we are killed in the US. We are jailed unfairly in the US. We are held at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder in the US. I literally said that. But your dumbass, Kevin, continues to bring up the US, not only in this part, but in the rest of your comment. Let's go. They are ignorant people here. I assume also maybe you would say there are ignorant people here, because if you say they are ignorant people here, you're saying that all of Albania is ignorant people. This is the English teacher coming out of me. I just have to whoop you right there. Correct that. But not hatefully racist in comparison to the US, and racism doesn't really impact your life financially. Listen, man, as a tourist in Albania, a black tourist in Albania, it does affect my life being in that foreign country, because I am literally at their mercy. I do not think for one second, as an American tourist, I am above Albanian laws or Albanian street justice. If I'm walking down the street in Vlorë, Albania, and I hear a group of men say, "fuck nigger," how am I not supposed to be in fear of my life? If you, as a gay man, which you are, in the Pride Parade in Albania, and you hear a group of Albanian men say, "fuck faggots," would you not be in fear of your life as well? You would have to be. You have to have some cognitive dissonance to say this shit to me, especially as a black person. Are you fucking stupid, Kevon? You have to be. I am at their mercy when I'm in any foreign country. I'm filming this video in hot-ass Turkey right now, Istanbul, Turkey. It's almost 30 degrees, well over 30 degrees, and that's why I'm sweating so much. But I am at the mercy of Turkish law and Turkish street justice. If tomorrow in Turkey they say, "fuck the immigrants, we want them out," black people are going to be facing that too. Even if, you know, hypothetically it's about they want to kick out the Syrians and shit. Whenever there's xenophobia and jingoism that pops up, black people, especially if we're in non-black countries, are the first ones to get the brunt of all the bullshit that happens. So yes, they are hatefully racist, because saying "fuck nigger" is textbook hatefully racist. I recorded it, put it in that video, that Albania is the most racist country, and in several other videos, Kevon. So come on, man. Come on. That is hatefully racist. Is it compared to the US? No. But is it hatefully racist? Hell yes. And for you to deny my experience like that, you are an embarrassment. The most you'll get are comments like the ones people have made saying "nigga" for no reason. Really? Not just nigga, you dumbass. Dumbass Kevin, because I also spoke about the blackface and you make no mention of that. Literally put that in the video, but you can just glide over that, right? You have all this time to type out, it's okay, or, you should just accept being called nigga and not say anything about it. Are you dumb? You have to be dumb saying this shit to me. I did not just get, hey nigga, or what's up nigga. That did happen, but multiple times in Duress and in Valore, people said fuck nigga. Come on. Which they typically do when they're with their friends to be funny and almost never do when they're walking alone, which makes them cowards and pussy and obviously racist. Because, like I've said before, and probably like you've experienced many times, Kevon, though, in your videos talking about living in Albania, you'll never talk about the racial slurs that you were called. I was in Albania for less than 6 hours and got called nigga more times in my life by white people than I've ever been called. In 6 hours. You lived there for 6 years and never mentioned being called Zezak once, nigga once, Zenchi once. Talked about the blackface you saw on TV once, or any of the stereotypes people made about your penis once, or about your intelligence once. You, nigga, come on, man. Don't be playing with me. Don't play with me. That's the worst that can happen. There aren't hate crimes here against black people, and there aren't people who won't hire you because you're black. There aren't mass shootings by racists like the ones in Buffalo, New York. Oh, Kevon. Now, are there hate crimes here against black people? No, because there's nobody in Albania. Let's keep it a buck. Albania has a shrinking population. The first thing I said when I was there is like, yo, this country is empty. It's empty, bro. We all know Albania and the Balkans in general have a shrinking population. There's nobody in Albania to commit hate crimes against except gypsies and Romas. I'm being somewhat facetious here. I'm joking, but there aren't hate crimes against black people because there's hardly any black people here or there. Because I'm not in Albania. There aren't any black people there to commit hate crimes against. Yes, there are a small group of Afro-Albanians in northern Albania and southern Montenegro that you spoke about in another video that you did. I think it was being here in Albania for 4 years and how it shaped me. You spoke about them, but that's a small group and they've mostly been assimilated and they're white passing now in general. For the mass shootings, Kevon, listen, the whataboutisms are going to get you fucked up. On my channel, guys, like I said, I've spoken about many different topics on my channel. Lately, I've been doing a lot of travel content because it gets me a lot of traction and is blowing up my channel, which is fine. That's how I started my channel, and I don't mind doing that. But if you look past all my content here, and I'm very religious and meticulous about organizing my content into playlists, you can find my travels in several different countries, but you can also find this playlist about philosophy, politics, and explicitly mass shootings. I have 169 videos on my channel about mass shootings in the US. It's not hard to find. You click this playlist, and literally for every day of my life, for about 9 months, I covered every single mass shooting that happened in the US. Starting with, it's time to abolish the Second Amendment, which I truly believe in. We need to get rid of the guns in the US. But then I also spoke about the 10 black people that were killed in the mass shooting in Buffalo. Please go check that video out. I also spoke about the Uvalde mass shooting and why we need to get rid of the guns. Please talk about that. And also, every single mass shooting that goes underreported in the US. This is not ChatGPT. This is not AI. This is not deep fakes. This is me waking up at 7 a.m. every day, recording 3, 4, 5 videos and uploading them, documenting the mass shootings in the US, why it's hurting black people, hurting white people, and hurting all Americans, and saying this is even more reason for everybody to leave the US. So don't ever come talk to me, Kevon, about mass shootings in the US. I've spoken about this explicitly. This is the reason why we need to leave our country. It is unsafe for all people, but specifically black people, because the number one killer of black men is gun violence. It's gun violence. But does that make me getting called nigger in Albania acceptable? Absolutely not. I don't care if there are 1 million mass shootings in the US, which generally there are. I believe This year, we're about at 1,400 mass shootings in 2023 alone. So that number isn't, it's crazy how many people get shot, killed every year in the US. But that does not make it acceptable for me or any other black person, even yourself, Calvin, to be harassed in the streets. I would never come on your channel and say, you know what? Those times that you were abused by homophobes who told you to stop sucking Albanian cock and getting your back beaten out by big-chested, hairy motherfuckers. Those people that called you faggot, and all sorts of things. Those people, you sort of have to understand. In the U.S., we have pulse nightclub shootings. In Albania, they might call you a faggot and harass you for being gay, but at least they don't shoot up the gay nightclub like they did in Pulse in Orlando. Shut the fuck up, man. You've sucked too many big Albanian cocks. Your brain is blown out of proportion. That cum must got you intoxicated. I personally love living in Albania, but I speak a little bit of the language, so my interactions are probably different than the ones you've had. And when I didn't speak any Albanian, I was using Italian with people, so I haven't had too many experiences where I couldn't talk to anyone. I'll say this once, but I've said it many times before. I encourage all black people to find a place in the world where they feel free, happy, and safe, whether that be in the countries we come from or whether that be elsewhere, whether those countries be mostly black or non-black. I don't care if a person I don't care if a black person finds their best life in Atlanta, Albania, or Angola. Wherever you feel happy as a black person is where I encourage you to go. I encourage all of us to live our best lives, our full lives. Love whoever we want to want. Love whoever we want to. I'm tripping right now. This is all one take, but we're keeping it all in. Love whoever you want to love. Live wherever you want to live. And be safe, free, happy, and black. I am not saying that you're wrong for choosing Albania to live if you think this is the best place. But where you are wrong is trying to discredit my experience and apologize and cape for the people who got you bent over backwards in the shower. They got you fucked up, man. Sure, speaking Albanian opens doors for you, and I encourage people when they go abroad to try to learn some of the language. It would be impossible for me to learn every language of every country I ever visit because I live in several different countries and I plan to continue traveling, and I can't pick up every single language over 3 months. But just because I don't speak the language doesn't make it okay for them to call me racial slurs for black people, people who have never done anything to anybody on this planet. We didn't colonize Albania. We didn't rape Albanian women. We didn't kill their men. We didn't do any of that. My wife is Turkish. The Turkish people have a history of brutalizing people in the Balkans. Meanwhile, who gets called racial slurs in the street? My black ass in Albania. That's not okay. It's not okay. Doesn't matter if I speak Albanian or not. Doesn't matter if you do. Nobody should be harassed. I would feel safer here in Albania being black than I would in some other countries where there are actual violent or hateful types of racism. They don't have that here. It's just ignorant racism. Not to downplay your experiences, but I think this needs to be said to have a full conversation about this topic. You said not to downplay your experience, but you just said everything to try to downplay my experience. You used the classic whataboutism that white people use all the time against us. We talk about racism in America. They tell us, well, there's racism all over the world. Or they say, well, the Irish were slaves too. Or, in Africa, if you weren't enslaved, you'd be swinging from trees. All sorts of shit. You said all this stupid shit. All this stupid shit. This whataboutism, this apologetics for white supremacy got you really messed up. Just seeking white validation on your channel because your channel gets a lot more likes than I do. But my channel makes probably way more money than yours, so that's not what really matters. The likes don't matter. All that matters is going up in them numbers. But I'll say this, man. I'm glad you feel safer in Albania. If you go on my channel, once again, guys, go on my channel. I make extremely prescient arguments on why the U.S. is the most dangerous, most unsafe country in the world. Not only in the playlist of 169 videos talking about mass shootings in the U.S., but also the social commentary and political commentary that I give on my channel, which totals to 73 videos. 73 videos talking about why the U.S. is the most dangerous place for black people to live in the world, period. So while I'm happy for you that you found Uhuru, which is Swahili for freedom in Albania or in Europe, because now you say you're moving to Belgium, I wish you the best. I hope as you're laying down in bed, caressing that big hairy chest of the Albanian man who got you hollering, bellow, bellow, bellow. Um, I hope as you're laying down with him, you feel safe and comfortable and happy because I want you to feel that, man. But I hope that big Albanian cock that you love and treasure so much doesn't have you hating yourself and your people so much as to leave comments like this on this very revolutionary, very black YouTube channel. In the video, I showed explicit evidence of me being called nigger. It's done right there, buddy. There's no excuse for that. No excuse. There ain't no reason to type this whole soliloquy about different types of racism. On my channel, we've had that covered. That's been done. I wish you all the success in your career as a documentarian for the LGBTQ in repressive countries like Albania. I wish you all the best in learning European languages like Dutch and Shikapia and Italian. I wish you all the best in living your best life throughout Europe. But I want you to know this. Seeking white validation has only led to the destruction of the internal soul of black people. We can only become what we were meant to be by God when we embrace our blackness, cherish each other, and not denigrate each other. We support each other. We don't tear each other down. There are some people that would call me a coon because I'm married to a white woman. There are some people that would call me a coon because I don't spend all my money traveling across Africa. But I have to say, I can look myself in the mirror and be glad of my blackness because I know for a fact that I do not, under any circumstance, denigrate my black experience to get validation from my wife right here. And if you don't believe me, she's always with me, and I'll ask her straight up, baby, throughout this time that we've been together, have you ever heard me downgrade or talk down to black people or disrespect black people in juxtaposition to like white people? Meaning like if a black person is sharing their experience about racism or anti-blackness, I say it's their fault that they're going through racism and anti-blackness. Have I ever done that?
No, you didn't. The only bad thing that you will say about certain black people are the ones that have white supremacist, mentalities. And you, in general, you do the opposite. You teach me so many different things about black struggle and fight against white supremacy.
Very true. Very true. And I want to say that, I do you think that I've ever tried to, downgrade my black experience just to keep you attracted to me? Because I've had harsh things to say about Turkey and anti-blackness in Turkey. Have you ever felt like I toned it down to be accepted by you?
No, you never tone it down, and I don't ask you to tone it down because I agree with you on most of those things.
Right. And I'm not, convincing you to say anything. I'm not forcing you.
No.
This is all your opinion, right?
This is my opinion.
Absolutely true. So listen, for all the black viewers, I just have to say this. If you love white men, if that's your preference, or if you love white women, or if you have a specific romantic or sexual preference, go ahead. Go ahead, be with whoever you want to be with. But never under any circumstance, disrespect our people, unvalidate our experience, or cape for white supremacy. Because you will be the enemy of our people on that day of retribution when it will come. And I will continue to speak out for our people. I'll continue to drop videos like this. I will continue to always keep it real, keep it black, and keep it raw. I want to thank everybody for watching so far. Kevon, don't ever come on my channel talking like this. I expect an apology from you, good sir, or I expect you to shut the fuck up forever. Um, be happy and gay. Peace.